My name's Tom Kolb. Congratulations on the purchase of your new instrument, and welcome to the wonderful world of guitar. I'd like to get started naming the parts of the guitar first. This is the headstock. These are the tuners, the tuning pegs, which tune the strings. This is the string tree. Some guitars have them, some don't. A couple of the strings can pass through there to hold them more firmly to the headstock. This little space here is the truss rod where your repairman will do repairs in guitar. This is the nut where the strings pass over from the neck onto the headstock. They can come in various materials and various colors. This one's black. The strings, the 6 strings, pass over the nut, like I said, and this is where the neck begins. These wires are called fret wires. They go all the way up the neck, and the spaces between them are commonly referred to as the frets. So this first space between the nut and the fret wire is referred to as the first fret. On up to the first position marker. Your guitar might have a position marker here, but this one starts at the 3rd fret and go up the neck in various spots. It helps you keep place where you are. As we travel up the neck, we come to where the body of the guitar joins the neck. With some guitars, the body meets the neck at the 12th fret, and a lot of them meet at the 14th fret, and then this one meets, I guess you could say, at the 17th fret there, but various guitars meet at various places. We travel a little bit further. This white area is known as the pick guard. It basically protects your guitar from scratches when you're playing the pick, scratching against it. Strings pass along the body of the guitar and meet at the bridge. So the sound of the string is really only traveling from the nut to the bridge. This guitar has what is known as string saddles. There's 6 of them for the 6 strings on the bridge. It has lots of adjustments, so you can adjust the string height and intonation. That's good for your repairman to do that. And the strings with this guitar pass from the bottom over the bridge, and of course up the neck, over the nut, and finally attached at the tuning pegs. And when I show you how to string a guitar and how to tune that, we'll go over that again. These 3 bars right here, they're pickups. They're known as pickups. They pick up the sound of the strings. Some guitars have 1, some guitars have 2, some guitars have 3, and I've even seen 4 and 5, but this is a common configuration. This would be called the neck pickup because it's close to the neck. This is the middle pickup because it's in the middle, and this is the bridge pickup, close to the bridge. Like this switch is a selector. It's a pickup selector switch. All the way up that way, pointing that way, activates this pickup only. All the way back the other way activates this pickup, the bridge pickup. In the middle position, it activates the middle pickup. Very logical. And there's little notches between the settings. So this one activates both the neck and the middle. And then you go back between these 2 settings. That'll activate the bridge and the middle. That gives you different sounds. The neck pickup is generally for a mellow, warmer, bassier sound. The bridge pickup is brighter, more treble, and in the middle is just kind of in between, kind of a sparkly type setting. And the in-between are kind of like funky funky sounding, like throaty, nasally. So it's your choice. Neck pickup is a real good middle of the road setting for a lot of styles. With the electronics, lastly we have the controls for the sound. We have volume, all the way off, and all the way on, and everything in between. And we have tone, which is basically just a treble roll-off, or all the way up has all the treble on. And as you turn it down, it cuts the treble down until it's very bassy sounding. And that can be a nice setting for certain the tone all the way off, but generally most guitarists will play all the time with it all the way on because it's louder and just cuts through real well. We have hanging on the bridge of the guitar, and this one, it's known as the whammy bar or wang bar. And what it does, you can play a chord, and if you go press down, it releases tension on the strings. You can pull back on some, so you get a slight vibrato, or real wild. Wild effect for rock. The sound travels out through the electronics, out the jack. This is called the jack, and the jack plate. You plug your guitar cord into that all the way, and that goes to the amplifier. Lastly, we have what's known as strap buttons. This one has right here in the horn of the guitar. These are called horns. Some have them behind the guitar, various spots. The other one would be right down here. So your strap attaches to those buttons, comes over your left shoulder, and you can adjust the strap to the height you wish. The acoustic guitar is very, very similar to electric guitar. Matter of fact, anything you can play on electric, you can play on acoustic, and vice versa. When you get to the body of the guitar, there's a couple of differences though in the names. Of course, this big hole in the center is the sound hole, and that's where the sound comes out of the body, and that's what you hear. And again, this is the pick guard for this guitar. Protects your body, the nice wood from the pick. And this is the bridge. This is all one piece bridge, which is very common with acoustic guitars. These funny looking things are called the pegs, the string pegs. They hold the strings into the body. More on that in a moment. And this guitar has a strap button too, but only one. One down here. And usually what you do with an acoustic guitar is put the strap there and then tie with a string down here at the headstock. That's pretty common because this guitar, as most acoustics, or a lot of acoustics don't, they don't have a peg there. But the acoustic guitar is very comfortable for just sitting around on the couch and playing. Before I show you how to tune your guitar, I'm going to show you how to change the strings on your guitar. Say you're playing and all of a sudden one of your strings break. Pow! You don't want to take the time to take your guitar to your repairman. You can change it yourself. You can use a pair of pliers, or better yet, a string peg remover. And you can buy this at the store you bought your guitar from. Pull out the peg, and the string comes out. You place the corresponding new string in this case, the 6th string. The ball end goes into the body, and the peg pushes it down. And just with finger pressure, We have it in. Now you go to the headstock and unwind the old string and discard it. Now I'm going to show you the standard way of attaching a string to the post. You'll wind it around a couple times. It's tricky at first. Hold it down, and I'm going to pass the string through the hole in the post and out through the last loop of the string on top. Pull it as tight as I can without stabbing myself. It's good to use a pair of pliers or string cutters to help you pull it through. And then start winding. And this way you wind, well, it's counterclockwise when you're facing this way, and that tightens the string. Now I know how to tune it to pitch. In a moment I'll show you how to use an electronic tuner. That's pretty close. Then you want to give it a tug. That way your string won't slip out of tune. What I'm doing is actually tightening these windings down here by doing this. And you keep doing that till it stays in tune. And so you don't have your strings dangling all over the place and putting somebody's eye out. You want to take your wire cutters and clip it off pretty close to the post. Maybe push it back, give it a little twist just to finish it off. Okay. The acoustic and the electric guitar are similar in most ways, but not when it comes to string changing. On the electric I have in my hand, we have to start with the string passing through the underside of the body. In this case, it's the first string, the high E, goes through the body and out the other side over the bridge. Goes over the bridge saddle. I'm going to attach this string the way I do mine. I think it causes less string slippage. I start with the hole of the post facing towards the center of the headstock, and I immediately bring the string through. I don't wind it around. Pull it tight, and I bring it down this way and underneath the string. Underneath the string there. Pull it tight again, and it passes over the string now. It's going to create a little natural knot. And then I pull it tight as I tighten the tuner peg to pitch. And again, I pull it gently, tug at it, tighten up at the post. Ready to go. And I'll clip that off with the clipper and cut off the excess. And if you've only broken one string, then you're finished. But you can restring your whole entire guitar that way, but I recommend not to take all the strings off at once. That can cause some damage. Replace one string at a time if you want to replace them all. Now a brief word about string gauge. if you bought an electric guitar, chances are it came from the factory with light gauge or extra light gauge strings. If you're not sure, just take the guitar back to the store and they can measure them for you and tell you what's on there. It's a good idea to start with light gauge, which would be 9, so that's extra light, or 10, which is a medium light. That way you can build up the calluses on your fingers gradually before you graduate to a heavier gauge string if that's what you want. With acoustic guitar, bronze strings sound really good, any company. And again, it's probably a wise idea to start with light gauge on acoustic also. And if you're not sure, just take it back to the store and they can help you with that. And now, before we get started with the tuning, a brief word about picks. You can start with a medium pick, or a heavy gauge pick, or a light gauge pick. Most players gravitate towards a medium, so if you don't want to buy a bunch of picks, buy a medium and see if that's good for you. I hold mine kind of on the tip of my index finger. Like it's an extension of my finger actually, and then I grip it with my thumb to tighten it, and I bring it in, curving the finger. That's only one way of holding it. A standard way is to hold your hand like you're turning a key in a lock and slip in the pick. It's built slightly different, so just experiment and get it the way you like it. And of course, you can just use your fingers if you want. There's several ways to tune up. You can buy a pitch pipe at the store, probably 6 pitches, low E, A, D, G, B, E. Use those. Or tuning fork. You can buy a tuning fork tuned to A, and you'll have to use a different method to tune the rest of the strings. You can use a piano. You go to the piano keyboard and locate the 2 black keys towards the left side of the piano, the lower side, the 2 black keys, and the white note to the right would be the low E. And you count up 4 white notes: E, the first one, the second one, F, third, G, fourth, A, and that's the next string. Count up 4 to D, count up 4 to G. At that point, you count up 3, G, A, B, and then you count up another 4 to E again, and that'll be with a keyboard. Probably the best way at this point, if you have the money, is to buy an electronic tuner. And I happen to have one right here. What you do is you plug into it, and you either dial up the note you want to tune, or it does it for you. Mine does it for you. You just play, say, the high E, and if you're close to it, it will say E. If you're not, it'll say some other note. Oh, it says D sharp, so I know I'm low, so I tune up till it says E, and then you get it to the arrow. The light has to come up to the arrow on all these tuners. Quick and easy. And you do that with all the strings. Here's B. I'm tuning up B. So I really recommend that, to have an electronic tuner at first. That way there's no doubt if you're in tune, you can see it visually. After you play a while, your ear gets trained so you can really tell when you're out of tune. When that time comes, you can tune using the 5th fret method, I call it. So if you have a pitch pipe or say a keyboard or something, you can tune your low E until it's in pitch, and then at the 5th fret, you fret it at the 5th fret, and you tune the A string to that pitch. It's the same pitch. Say you're slightly out of tune that way. You can use your free right hand. Now you do that with the A string at the 5th fret, and tune your D to it, and And likewise, 5th fret on the D string, tune your G string to it. But when you get to the G string, some funny business happens, and you have to go to the 4th fret. 4th fret G string to tune your B. And then when you get to the B string, you go up to the 5th fret again to tune your E. You're going to be noticing your guitar going out of tune a lot. Changes in temperature can cause it to go out of tune. Bending strings, using the whammy bar, strumming hard, just letting the strings settle after you change them. All these things can make your guitar go flat or even sharp. The important thing is to keep training your ear by tuning and using the tuner and also the 5th fret method. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. What I'm going to do now is teach you 3 chords to get you started. The first one is my favorite of all time, the E chord. What you do is you take your first finger or index finger and fret down on the 1st fret of the 3rd string. That's the G string. Then you take your ring finger and go to the 4th string and on the 2nd fret. Finally, the 2nd finger goes on the A string, the 5th string at the 2nd fret. Notice how that has to go a little bit that way. That's just the way it has to be. And you strum every single string from the low E to the high E. Fat chord, rich. That's E. Next is A, the A chord. Then there's several ways to play the A chord. Probably the most common is this one. The first finger goes on the D string, 2nd fret. Second finger goes on the G string, 2nd fret. And the 3rd finger goes on the B string, 2nd fret. So it's the 2nd fret on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. And then you strum. You can strum all the strings. But generally, you wouldn't strum the low E. It's a little bit too muddy sounding sometimes. I sometimes finger the same chord like with these fingers, or even barring down with the 1st finger on all those strings, and then not playing the top one. But either way, it's the same chord, A. And finally, D. D is played by taking your 2nd finger, placing it on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. Ring finger goes on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. And the 1st finger goes on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. 2nd fret 1st, 3rd fret 2nd, 2nd fret 3rd. And you play the top 4 strings. You can even play the top 5 strings, but not the low E because it doesn't fit the chord. And with those 3 chords, you can play thousands of songs. E, A, and D. Just playing, mixing and matching those chords and doing different strumming with my right hand. When you first get started, maybe just do all down strokes like so. And practice changing from chord to chord. you had fun with this video. I know I did. All these things are designed just to get you started now. It's a good idea to maybe go and seek a good teacher, or there's lots of books that are available, there are lots of videos that are available to help you in your progress of learning guitar. The main thing is to have fun, keep your ears open, go out and find some other friends who are playing drums, bass, whatever, singing, and have a good time. We'll see you again.
Thank you.